Hi everyone, welcome to how to make a tomato and cucumber salad. This is definitely one of my favorite summer salads. It's great as a afternoon lunch or a side at dinner time. After watching this video, you'll be able to make this delicious salad in about 50 minutes. Some of the materials and ingredients you'll need to make this salad include a cutting board to cut everything on, a paring knife to cut your vegetables with, a medium-sized bowl to put the salad in, a large spoon to mix all of the ingredients, 1.5 cups of halved cherry tomatoes, 2 mini cucumbers peeled, a half cup of feta cheese crumbles, a 1/4 cup chopped fresh basil leaves, 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and lastly 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Something to be cautious of in this recipe is using a knife to cut the cucumbers, tomatoes, and basil. Always cut away from your body and watch your fingers before each slice. Make sure to do all cutting on a flat surface. The first step to making this salad is to prepare the tomatoes. Before you cut them, you want to put the tomatoes into a colander to rinse them off. Next, you can cut them into halves until you have 1.5 cups of tomatoes. Then, once all of the tomatoes are cut, you can add them to a bowl. For the cucumbers, you will start by rinsing them off. This should always be the first step with any produce in a recipe. Once you've rinsed them off, you can peel the cucumbers. This can either be done with a peeler or it can be done with a knife, cutting away from your body. After the cucumbers are peeled, you'll cut them into slices. After they're sliced, you will add them all to the bowl. If you happen to be using a larger cucumber, you can cut it into slices the same way as explained for the mini cucumbers, and then cut those slices in half to make them more like the size of the mini cucumbers. The next ingredient to add to the salad is basil. You'll start again by rinsing off the basil. Then you'll use your paring knife to chop the basil into small leaves. You should measure out 1/4 cup first and then add the basil to the bowl. You may also choose to use dried basil instead of fresh basil for this recipe, but this will not have as much flavor as the fresh basil. It is a good substitution if fresh basil is unavailable though. Red wine vinegar should be measured to 1 teaspoon and added to the bowl. Make sure not to confuse red wine vinegar with red cooking wine, as red cooking wine will have a much different flavor than the red wine vinegar. Measure 1/4 teaspoon of salt and add it to the bowl. Next, measure 1 tablespoon of olive oil and add this to the bowl. At this point, you will mix everything together and place the salad in the fridge for about 30 minutes to chill. This allows the cucumbers and tomatoes to absorb the dressing mixture as well as the basil flavor. You will add a half cup of feta cheese to the salad and mix everything together to serve. You want to wait to add the cheese until you're ready to serve the salad to prevent the feta cheese from becoming soggy. The salad is able to chill longer than 30 minutes, but 30 minutes is a minimum to make sure that everything is absorbed. This is what the salad should look like once it's complete. I hope you enjoy it.